All right, sorry for that brief interruption. We had some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi, but we are back, and now Texas State with the quaffle and a power play still. What do you think? Will they score now?
They should. Texas State is 2 men up right now after that penalty.
Keep going.
Oh my God. Unrelenting defense. Sam Houston down 2 players, but they are not giving up. They managed to come up with the quaffle. Quaffle's beat out of the play, but they are just unrelenting pressure now. They don't care that they are down 2 players. They are trying to stop this at all costs. And they do. Tackle continued after the beat, though. Looks like that might be another card against Sam Houston.
Wow.
That does not look good. Impressive defense despite the power play against them.
Certainly.
What do you think now?
Well, Sam Houston looks to go 3 men down. I don't know how much longer on that first penalty, but Texas State really needs to take advantage of this opportunity. It's definitely going to be their best opportunity so far of the game, and Texas State really needs to put one on the board here.
Yeah, Texas State has about 45 seconds where they have a 3-person advantage on the field. This is definitely the highest percentage possession that they've had all game. There's a chaser at the hoop right now, wide open. We'll see if the Sam Houston Beaters are able to make a very impressive play. Seems like everyone knows where the quaffle's going to go, but it's all about what happens at the whistle now. Let's see what happens. Wow. A blindside hit by the keeper. Texas State chaser did not see that coming. Wow, amazing defense by Sam Houston, able to come out of nowhere.
Just incredible defense.
Wow.
And Sam Houston has bludger control despite being 3 men down. This is just incredible.
Yeah, and now it is technically possible for Sam Houston to score despite being down a player. One chaser is coming back now. They do have bludger control. Texas State with a defensive advantage, though. Let's see if they're able to keep the score differential at least the same for the next couple minutes. Quaffle's drop, but Sam Houston recovers it, looking to drive. Swings it around. It's a merry-go-round around the hoops. Texas State recovers it. All right, and their defense steps up in this moment. Looks like Texas State looking to press the tempo now, trying to create a fast break. Blitters are thrown, but he is beat. Throw is after the beat. Amazing play by a Sam Houston beater to stop that break.
And Sam Houston, I believe, is no longer any men down. They survived that. They survived being 3 people down. Just wow. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone get
that is an
out
incredible
of 3 people down without scoring.
Yeah, 6v3 basically. Sam Houston coming away, almost scoring with that disadvantage, but also coming away with 2 different stops on defense. Now looking to answer back on their own fast break, passing the ball off, but immediately beat out by the play Texas State. Texas State slowing it down a little bit now, trying to figure out how to convert their defense into offense. No one's scored in a while now, but
That's right.
Sam Houston with a very comfortable lead, so they're not really looking to score necessarily. They want to make sure that Texas State does not get any points on the board.
And if Sam Houston can keep up this physicality, they won't have to worry about putting up offense if their defense stays this strong.
Yeah, a defense like this provides a very comfortable cushion for the offense. Good defense from Sam Houston State to recover the quaffle. Goes to the keeper, so it's keeper ball. Unfortunate connection there. Might be a stoppage, not sure. All right, no stoppage there. Sam Houston slowing it down at mid-pitch, waiting for his beater to make some space, number 43. Pass attempt to the side, Quaffle's on the ground. Texas State cleans that up, though.
Let's go, 43. Hey, good.
Texas State managing to regain bludger control now. Keeper's taking his time with the quaffle. Beaters from Texas State looking to make something happen now. Stutter step to get past the first defender. Keeper goes through. Amazing block by Sam Houston. Beaters with another beat attempt, but Texas State recovers the quaffle. Taken to the ground. One tackle. Passing it off. And the play is stopped. Wow. Intense play right there.
What a block on that goal by the keeper for Sam Houston. That was just incredible.
Yeah, and at this point, you can't really call it luck because Sam Houston has been able to do that consistently throughout this game, just stepping up, making last-second blocks at the hoops. Very incredible defense there from everyone on Sam Houston. Honestly, everyone stepped up and has had a hand on the ball in almost every defensive possession.
Absolutely. Texas State seems to find an open chaser or something on every possession, and Sam Houston comes out of nowhere just to with the tackle make some contact or make a block on a goal that seems almost sure.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's getting involved, whether it's Butler, Dorsey, Boys, even Mason. Everyone really on Sam Houston is stepping up at some point in this game, making an incredible play. Good offensive effort there, but it looks like it was a beat before the goal. But plays like that by Bauer are just basically textbook for them at this point. Just driving in, dunking. A little slow on the release there, but very likely that we'll see something like that again later.
Absolutely.
All right, Texas State's got bludger control now. Beats are made, stutter step, but unfortunate keeper taken out again. It seems like when Texas State has bludger control, they're able to create space, but Sam Houston's beaters are very quick to close that gap.
Definitely.
Pretty much instantly. Like, there's almost no time for any player for Texas State to drive in.
Absolutely. Texas State seems, when they have bludger control, they seem to be able to find some open shots, and they just haven't been able to get them to fall, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sam Houston, meanwhile, trying to start the play deep behind hoops. Almost loses control of the quaffle, but maintains it. Taken to the ground. A little bit of a scrum. Texas State now with strong defense. They're not the only ones who can play D. 49 from Texas State Crow keeper, Ian Crow. Pressured at mid-pitch, but avoiding the tackle, waiting for his teammates to provide some assistance here. Once again, Texas State with bludger control, trying to create an opening for their keeper. Bludger is thrown. They maintain bludger control. Pass behind the hoops. A stutter step. Shot attempt made. Barely misses. Unlucky. Strong defense from Texas State. Beat out of the play by the chaser, and they maintain the quaffle. High pass rolls out of bounds for Texas State. Quaffle turned over to SHSU. That was really close. A shot on the goal. That right hoop just barely turned. I couldn't believe it didn't go in.
It was another excellent opportunity for Texas State, and Sam Houston coming out of nowhere to play excellent defense.
Yeah. What does Texas State need to change in this game in order to find some momentum on offense?
Texas State seems to find seems to be able to find open chasers when they have bludger control. So if they can maintain bludger control, then they can really work the offense the way they want to.
Let's go! Let's go!
Wow. Sam Houston, once again, that was Boys, Hayden Boys, number 22. Basically, same play that he did earlier in the game, right? Beater made a play. Once that bludger was on the ground, he did not hesitate, drove in, dunked on the hoop. Texas State trying to do the same thing. Unfortunate, drops his broom. Very unlucky there. Unforced error from Texas State, resulting in a turnover. Bludger thrown, rolls off pitch. SHSU being pressured aggressively by Texas State beater. Boys, undeterred really, just walks away from the pressure. Very experienced player there, not throwing it away, not forcing anything, being patient.
He's shown a lot of patience, a lot of poise this weekend, certainly.
Yeah. Great pass by Boys. Unfortunate. Quaffle was not able to connect, but is very close. Texas State taking a timeout. This is probably a very smart timeout. They're down 7. They haven't been able to score at all today. A lot of very, very close attempts, but close isn't good enough in Quidditch. You need to get points on the board if you want to win. What do you think they're talking about now?
I think they just need to focus on stopping Sam Houston's momentum, first of all, tighten up a little bit on defense. Sam Houston seems to have that drive and then that shot, that pass to the backside chaser open, so tighten that up. And then offensively, when they have bludger control, they're generally able to kind of do a very similar thing to what Sam Houston's done and drive and find a chaser on the backside hoop. But the problem is, offensively, they really haven't had bludger control all that often. And so when they do, they really need to convert.
Yeah, it feels like when Texas State has bludger control, they create an opportunity to score and then immediately lose bludger control, and then that opportunity closes so fast because SHSU's defense is like, they're so good at collapsing, right? Like, you have basically 1 second to get the shot off before you are surrounded by 3 chasers almost in every single possession. And then if you do get the shot off, it's almost like the keeper basically reads the play and basically is always able to get a hand up to block it. And there are 3 hoops, right? So it's like amazing athleticism from SHSU to basically always be in the right spot at the right time.
I think Texas State can catch Sam Houston out of position on defense, especially after making a first pass, because the defense tends to collapse on that first pass. If you can then find a second pass to somebody elsewhere, they should be open for a shot.
Yeah, there's almost always at least one open chaser in a Quidditch game, right? The keeper usually sits by the hoop, so it's really important for teams at all levels to be able to communicate and make sure the ball gets to the open chaser so you have the highest % chance to score, right? I mean, if no one's playing defense on you, you should just be able to walk it up to the hoop. But at the same time, SHSU also knows that, and their players are very athletic, so that open chaser does not stay open for very long.
Right.
These players are hustling, and they definitely have the confidence and momentum now, being up 7 goals, so want to continue their lead and possibly see a shutout game. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Players resumed after Texas State's timeout. Let's see if the strategy changes here on offense, if they do anything different. You definitely see reinvigorated. That break probably was nice for them to get some stamina back. With bludger control, beating out 3 players on defense. Good pass. Amazing pass by Texas State, but blocked again by SHSU. Quaffle maintained by Texas State, taken to the ground. Wrapped up again, 3 defenders around them. It's so hard to get through this defense.
Yeah, really an excellent pass, an excellent look, and then just better defense from Sam Houston. I mean, that's kind of been the story of the game. Texas State can find open people, but Sam Houston's just in position and knows where to be at all times.
Yeah, it seems like Sam Houston has been one step ahead of Texas State this entire game, whether it's on offense or on defense. Even the opportunities where Sam Houston wasn't able to score, it was really just from unforced errors, right? Like, a lot of the offensive possessions here are resulting in goals like that. Hayden Boyes taking a shot. Not sure if that was, I guess it didn't go through, unfortunate for him. But, yeah, that offensive possession, again, there was a spot, he saw the opportunity, drove in, took a shot. Unlucky that it didn't go through, wasn't good, but that's kind of been the story of this game. Just kind of stepping into the keeper zone, taking shots when he sees it. It goes without saying, though, there was an opportunity at one point where Texas State was up 3 players on a power play, and Sam Houston's defense really stepped up their game, and I'm sure that probably inspired a lot of confidence from the sideline, right? Like, being down 3v6 and managing to prevent your team from scoring, the opposing team from scoring, rather, that must inspire a lot of confidence.
And not only that, but all 3 of those players, I think, possessed the ball pretty much the entire time. I mean, they had bludger control. Both of their beaters who were still on had bludger control, and the one chaser who was still on. The one chaser who was still on had the quaffle almost immediately, and they maintained control the entire time. It was very impressive.
Yeah, that really speaks to the discipline of this team and the coaching ability, because a lot of players in those situations might panic being down. They might say, oh, like, this is not really worth it. They're probably going to score anyway, and just let it go. But SHSU said, no, we're gonna go for it. We're not going to let them score. Texas State, though, finally able to get points on the board on that power play. So at that point, they were only down 1, but now SHSU with a lead of 70-10. All right, so it looks like 15 seconds left in regulation. Boyes looking to score. Hosby looking to delay this to be the last possession. Passing off. It's been 20 minutes, so this will be the last possession. Boyes looking to score by himself, passing it off. Beautiful look by Boys. Driving in, pulled the entire defense basically to the left side of the pitch, leaving the right hoop wide open for his teammate. Great look by him. Unselfish play there. He could have tried to dunk it himself, but made the right play passing it off, and it ended up in a goal.
Boys just sees the field so well. He's an excellent leader for Sam Houston, and he knows when to shoot. He knows when to pass it off. He just does an excellent job on every single possession.
Yeah, and with that now, it's been 20 minutes, so we will have a break here while the teams reset, reorganize. Sam Houston, probably not too much to discuss, right? They've been pretty good on defense. The one goal that Texas State was able to score was on a power play, so you can't really fault them for that. But Texas State, a lot to discuss now. What do you think they're talking about?
Yeah, I think Texas State just needs to focus on, first of all, they really need to step up their quaffle play. I don't know what their strategy is going to be as far as the snitch. They are down quite a bit. But it'll be interesting to see, being down 70, whether they go for the snitch immediately, whether they focus on quaffle play. So I don't know where they're going to go strategically. As far as quaffle play, I just think they have been finding open looks. But I think if they make the extra pass as opposed to taking that first shot, if they make the extra pass where Sam Houston always seems to be there, they'll find some openings, because they've been finding, maybe one chaser behind hoops, and then Sam Houston will step in and they'll take a shot and Sam Houston will be there. Whereas you have another chaser across, still behind hoops, but across the field.
Right, yeah.
And they are wide open.
Yeah.
And so if you make that extra pass, I think, they would be far more successful.
Yeah, so it seems like basically if Texas State is able to make that one or two extra passes, kind of pull the defense to one side of the pitch, which is kind of what Sam Houston's been able to do, right? They kind of drive at one hoop. The entire defense from Texas State collapses on that hoop, but leaves the other hoop open, right? And you can't really defend all three hoops at the same time. So it's really just kind of like a risk reward, right? It's like, do we want them to score on the left hoop? No, but we also don't want them to score on the other two hoops, right? So definitely interesting to see. Even if Texas State manages to catch the snitch, they will still be down about 11 goals in order to win. So it'll be interesting to see the strategic value that's placed on the snitch right now, because SHSU only needing 7 goals to win, Texas State needing a lot more. Down 14 goals. We'll see what happens. Play has resumed. Texas State with the quaffle and bludger control, trying to make a fast break during SHU substitution. Keeper drives in, takes a shot, scores. A little bit of miscommunication there on Sam Houston's part. They were in the middle of substituting, and Texas State, seeing that opportunity and being aggressive, love to see that right after the timeout.
Definitely, and some very uncharacteristic miscommunication from Sam Houston. They've been really good on defense, and but really excellent drive by Texas State, and really good to see that opportunity during that substitution.
SHSU answering back with a goal of their own. At this point in the game, trading goals for SHSU is perfectly fine, right? They will win this game if they trade fast break for fast break. So Texas State needs to score, but also hustle back on defense and make sure that does not happen.
Certainly.
Good pass to Texas State chaser. Open but taken down. Strong defensive tackle by SHSU. Recovered by Texas State. Shot made over the top. Misses it. Potential fast break opportunity for SHSU. Stopped by the beater. Good job by Texas State maintaining bludger control. A misbeat. Texas State seeker with a one-on-one opportunity with the snitch, trying to catch off screen. Meanwhile, SHSU able to stop the offensive possession by Texas State. Everything going well for SHSU again.
Let's go, Chris!
Sam Houston with
You're so close!
1 inch away from catching the snitch. Beat out of the play. Looks like all eyes. The beaters are looking only at the seekers right now. A lot of space for Boys to work. He just runs in, drives through 3 people, scores by himself.
Well done by Boys.
Yeah, so with the beaters focusing so much on the snitch on pitch play, that really opens up the field for players like Boys to just use their athleticism and force it through, right? Even if he scores and isn't able to make it back on defense, they can trade goals, right? Like fast break for fast break. Sam Houston only needs 5 more goals to win. They're totally fine with doing that, but you know what? I don't think their team wants to give up any goals either. So honestly, there's a lot of hustle here, even if one player scores, everyone else is running back to play defense, which you love to see. Good discipline, good coaching from SHSU.
I also think you'll see the best players thrive with snitch on pitch, just given the chaos. More novice players, especially, I know this from experience that myself. I struggle with all the chaos that occurs during snitch on pitch. But you'll see a lot of experienced players be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of chaos in Quidditch. Texas State with a good spin move to get open. Shot attempt goes low at the hoop. Looks like SHSU is going to clean this up. A little unlucky there. Strong defense, though, from SHSU again. I like that spin move by Texas State trying to get a one-on-one scenario. If you can beat that one defender on you, that should give you a clean look, but looks like everyone at SHU is able to play very good defense and really good offense on the opposite side of the pitch there. Boys, once again, finding that pass, being very unselfish there, finding that other chaser to finish off.
And just like you mentioned, I think there was 2 or 3 chasers that collapsed all on the ball carrier there, and a wide open look on the opposite hoop.
Yeah, Boyce has been so good in this game. It's almost like you don't want him to walk it in himself, right? You have to step up and threaten him with a tackle, maybe even 2 or 3, because he's been fast enough to break a couple of those tackles again today. So it must be really hard from a defensive perspective. It's like, what do you do, right? Like you eliminate one player, but the other players are still also very good.
Right.
Good tackle by Sam Houston, forcing the Texas State chaser out of bounds. Quaffle goes to the keeper. SHSU with a couple of substitutions, taking their time, playing slow. They are not under any pressure right now. They are taking their time. They know they have all the time in the world. They just want to recover some stamina and really just work the quaffle around, just get everyone involved. Ooh, SHSU Seeker with a very close, almost a catch, barely inches away. On offense, though, the quaffle not inches away, goes right through the hoop. Looks like the goal was good, maybe not good.
They're calling it beat before.
Calling it beat before. Unlucky by Sam Houston, but again, they are firing on all cylinders.
Get it, baby! Get it, baby!
Ooh, once again, a diving attempt by the SHU Seeker. Beat out, but wow, so amazing. Every part of this game is very intense.
It is. I'm having a hard time keeping track of everything.
Seekers are diving, blooders are being thrown. The quaffle is flying everywhere at this point.
Good stuff, man.
Interesting. Texas State not with many penalties in this game, playing a relatively clean game, but SHSU, even with the aggressiveness that they've shown on defense, being down a player is not something that they're concerned with, honestly. They're probably feeling pretty good right now.
No, they haven't been phased at all. I believe this is their 5th penalty of the game, including being down 3 players at one point, and it did not phase them at all. They didn't even give up a goal on that.
Yeah, strong tackle again, one-on-one opportunity for Texas State, but yep. Yeah, so SHSU able to come away with the stop again, one-on-one. That chaser defense, one-on-one, is making the difference here in this game. Sometimes in Quidditch, all it comes down to is that one-on-one play, right? You can make all the perfect passes, but you have to be able to finish at the hoops against the keeper.
Wait for your beaters. You got it. Wait for your beaters, baby.
Go get it, that kid. You gotta get it.
Ooh. Rogue bludger coming off pitch. Texas State putting a lot of emphasis on the Seekers. SHSU focus more on the quaffle play at this play. Dorsey in as Seeker for SHSU. He wants to end this game right now if possible. And he grabs it. A beautiful swim move on the sideline. You can hear the crowd celebrating. Amazing move, getting close to the snitch. After that goal, if that goal stands and if that catch is ruled good, that may be the end of the game now. We'll see. There's some deliberation here. It's not official yet. We're going to wait for the call from the head ref. But what did you see there?
Looked good to me. I think this is going to be the end of it. An excellent, excellent grab by Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey shaking Snitch's hand.
There's some
He's pumped. He's pumped for sure. He seemed excited. I think he believes that catch was good.
He definitely does.
I think everyone at SHU is celebrating already. And we have the confirmation. Sam Houston wins 155-20 over Texas State. with the snitch catch.
Just an all-around complete game from Sam Houston. So much credit to them. Excellent offense, excellent defense, excellent beater play, excellent chaser play, and grabbing the snitch. Just a well played game.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Texas State, but you know what? Sam Houston's defense was probably the most impressive thing I saw this game. They were down players on several opportunities, and they did not give up. Great discipline by the chasers on defense. The beaters too, when they don't have bludger control, they're still able to get bludger control back, almost like on every play. It's like it doesn't matter who has the ball. Everyone on Sam Houston steps up, makes the play. All around, great teamwork, great communication, just really exciting game to watch for me, and I hope everyone at home watching also enjoyed that too. Very fun game.
Yeah, so much fun to watch. Love to see the physicality. Just two very athletic, very well coached teams, very disciplined teams, and it was definitely a fun game to watch.
Yeah, and with that, Sam Houston having a lot to celebrate. Great defensive performance. Their offense doing pretty good too. Great catch by Dorsey too, putting in a lot of work in the start of the game on offense and being able to finish the game off for his team. That must feel really good.
Certainly.
All right, and with that, we will be looking forward to our next game in the next time slot. Thank you for the championship game. Texas Quidditch versus UTSA in the championship game coming up next on this pitch. We will see you soon. Thank you for being here with us.